Hello, people of the world and the Come Up universe. It's me, Nick, and this is the Come Up. Yeah, I love saying that. I really do. I'm very grateful to be able to have this platform to keep making things and having conversations, and that you clearly want to hear those conversations. So I'm going to keep bringing them to you. And that's going to keep happening tonight with my friend Jade Rogers. Jade knows everything. So I'm just going to bring Jade on. She's a historian. She is a self-proclaimed black nerd. That's because she's black and she is a nerd, and that counts. Here she is, Jade Rogers!
Hello.
Hi, friend.
Hey, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, I'm here and I am present. I'm happy that I'm here with you.
I'm happy to be here with you, too.
Jade, for the people in the land that don't know, what do you do? What's your title and what's your job?
I don't sleep. Yeah. No, I'm done. So I am an historian, educator. I am the founder and chief innovation officer of the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls. I'm an adjunct professor at one university and 2 colleges. And I'm a nerd.
What does the word nerd mean to you? Like, what's your nerddom?
Science fiction, fantasy is my jam. A Wrinkle in Time was my favorite childhood book, and I lived in that book and always felt outside. I related to that book so much, and it didn't really hit me until I became an adult. That's why I loved it and always read it. Even as an adult, I read it like every year. Yeah, so science fiction, fantasy. I am a low-key gamer. Because I only play 2 games. And it's been the same 2 games for like 20 years or so.
What games are they? Shout them out.
So I am a simmer.
Yes.
I love The Sims. I was there from the beginning, and I build houses.
Nice.
I build custom houses for people, and I build families with long lineages that people can download, and they're all black and brown people.
That's great.
I may have 1 or 2 people that are not in there, but there's not enough black and brown when I look at the gallery, so I like to add to it.
Listen, that's the word.
And then I was not a hardcore World of Warcraft player.
Gotcha.
In the World of Warcraft, I liked fishing. I liked picking flowers. I liked killing some things, and sometimes I would be like, help, I can't kill this thing. So, I didn't kill all the things.
Right.
But when it came to the dungeons, my guild years ago, because you had to have a guild years ago, and because I was a druid, because I'm always a druid, I could be a healer, or I could just stand in the back and throw things. And I really like just standing in the back and throwing things. And they tried to make me heal, and every time they did, we all died. Because healing is a lot of responsibility. You have to make sure that everybody lives. I was like,
Right.
This is too much stress for a game. So I don't
have to make sure everybody lives. Listen,
Yeah.
that's what our government says too. They're like, that is too difficult. They're like, there is far too much going on. I don't know how you expect us to do that.
I hadn't watched the news in a while, and I just watched something about 20 minutes ago, and I shouldn't have.
So, Jade, let's talk about the house a little bit. Where did the idea for this organization come from?
It came from me wanting to get my friends all sitting at a table to play games, or to have a conversation about Game of Thrones, and just one conversation and not 10.
That's fair.
Because, during an episode, I might have, 9 or 10 people. Did you see this? What does this mean? What does this mean? It's like, I don't know, I'm watching. So I just tried to do something to get people together. And then I would go places and I would see people playing board games at like the game shop. Shout out to the game shop, they're a
Mhm.
supporter of the house. Um, and they were all white.
Mhm.
And I said, well, I want to do that, but none of my friends do that or are interested in that. But I'm going to get them interested in that. And so it was really, being able to do some things that we don't normally do or are seen to normally do. So it was sort of, I want to do that, and I want to do that with my friends, and I want to make that okay for other black and brown people to feel like you can do that too. That's
Mhm.
not just for them, that's for all of us. So that, and then I was talking about going to a Renaissance fair, and someone came up to me afterwards, and they were like, I've always wanted to go to a Renaissance fair, but I never thought that I knew anybody that would want to go. Can you go with me? And I was like, okay, so this is a thing. It's not
Yeah.
just me thinking that it's a thing, it's a thing. So that's where the house came from. I wanted to find ways to make space for black and brown people to do things that we are not normally seen to be doing.
As we have this conversation about like what black and brown folks are able to be in public, and like, we don't play games, we don't do XYZ, we don't do theater, we don't, like, whatever the narrative is. um I admire you so much because your work is, as a historian, when people talk about doing the work and like having intense conversations, like, y'all, Jade is doing the work. Like, Jade is in here making people cry. Like, she got tears coming from all kinds of people's eyes, black, brown, white, everybody crying in her classes because she is dropping truths. So like, why is it so important to you, that we get the harsh and real truth about black folks and where we come from?
I remember as a kid loving history, but really being drawn to um, stories in England and English Tudor and Renaissance and Italian Renaissance and all of those stories, because I couldn't see myself anywhere. So I was always looking for, well, where are we? Where are the stories with the people that look like me? So I was trying to find those stories and realized when I was in college that the stories that I was looking for were in my house, and they told a richer story than the story that was in the books. My grandparents were born in 1900 and 1901, and they were my babysitters. So they were probably um, the most influential part of my research and my journey towards learning history, because I remembered and recalled all the stories that they told me, and that was a gift. I was the 25th grandchild, and
Wow.
the only one that, well, there were a couple of other ones that were in the house, but I was in the house with them when, from the time that I was crawling until I was in the third or fourth grade. So I got a lot of stories. And that was truly a gift to be able to have those stories and say, well, wait a minute, that story isn't in this book. I need to figure out why it's not in this book, and then whose other stories are missing. Also, because, so I ran out, I don't go out much anymore, but I was in the car and there was an artist. I don't know who she is, and I don't know what her background is, but her name is Mulatto. I was like, why is that her rap name? And I immediately thought, I wish I had gotten to her. I wish that she was in a class. I wish we would be able to have a conversation before she did that. Did she realize what that is? Does she know the history behind that? So that's the other part of it, is making sure that the people in the generation behind me and the generation after that have what I didn't have when I was in school. I think after people have a better understanding of what this country really is. I've heard a lot of people say, this is not the American way. No, this is exactly
Textbook.
what this country
I mean,
is.
not textbook.
And
Because
always
it's not in our textbooks for some reason.
right.
But
No, it's not. It's not. It's like the America that you see is the America that has always been there.